ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Thought You're Woke No Speed Limit podcast. This is an emergency broadcast. Donald Trump has been convicted on all 34 counts that he was charged with. Some were not expecting that, but he has been convicted on all 34 counts. The jury started deliberating late Tuesday afternoon, went into Wednesday, and as of today, Donald Trump is convicted. They couldn't find him guilty yesterday, but they found him guilty today. Unanimous decision, I assume, because I think that's the way it has to be in a New York trial. Now, if you remember, this is about Stormy Daniels, the porn star. Supposedly, Donald Trump slept with her, had an incident with her, however you want to call it. Either way, he tried to cover that up. He claimed it was covering up for his wife, but because it was about to get out in the newspapers and all this, he even conspired with the newspapers to hide the story. However, this goes against. It was also during the campaign season, so Donald Trump actually signed the papers to and okay that this money be given to Cohen to go and pay Stormy Daniels, right? So he's been convicted on 34 counts. He is not technically, he is a felon at this point because that was a felony charge. Donald Trump did come out to court and make a statement. Was not the unexpected statement. I expected him to come out and be Donald Trump the full thing. He said the courts were rigged. The judge was against him. I'm not going to say the nasty things he was saying about the judge because that's not fair. He said that he wanted to move the venue and was told he couldn't move the venue. He was in a district where he polled at 5%, and that they couldn't get a fair jury pool in that district. I don't know if they did it by the particular district. I don't know how they did the jury pool, but I do know that it was 12 individuals who weren't picked because they were politically, social motivated. They knew who Donald Trump was. I mean, he was president of the United States. How you not going to know who he was? They were told how to look at all the evidence. There were some people saying the other day that Cohen looked pretty bad on the stand. Here's a guy who's been convicted. He's a convicted felon. He's known to lie. He actually stole money from Donald Trump. He said it on the stand. So, he said maybe he had motives. Who knows? All I know is Donald Trump is convicted on 34 counts. 34 counts. Now, here's the issue at hand, and I'm going to say it out loud. Donald Trump had a lot of resources that nobody else has. Nobody. He had a full team of lawyers. Well, I ain't going to say nobody, but that a lot of people don't have. The majority of people who come to court are poor. If they're convicted of a crime, even if they didn't commit the crime, they're usually given a public defender who's on pro bono, who doesn't get all the resources that he properly needs to prosecute the case, and justice is not served at all. That person is usually convicted, and many times they tell them to actually plead guilty would be the best thing you do, or no contest. It's the best thing you can do for yourself. So people go to jail. Some people go to jail on the minor shoplifting charge. They go to jail. You picked up, say, a drill at Home Depot or a TV set, one of those cheap TV sets at Walmart. You're going to jail for 10 to 12 years. Not only is Donald Trump convicted, on June 11th, he will be sentenced. There is a huge chance that he will not receive any jail time at all. May receive a fine, may be confined to probation. Be on probation or under house arrest or whatever they decide to do. He's probably going to get a prick on the wrist, maybe. Then again, his guys get to appeal. Now, think about this. They taken this trial all the way to the Supreme Court where he said, I was president of the United States. I am immune. He's filed for immune charges on every case. And then the court said, nah, this is a state case. You ain't immune. So he had to go back down to the lower courts and take on this trial, right? Then there's the guy that's outside the court right now. I saw him on TV. I ain't trying to make fun of him, but free Donald Trump! Free Donald Trump! Free Donald Trump! No justice, no peace! And the key word I hate in that is no justice, no peace. We all know about January 6th. Let's just hope people now have a more civil mind and are capable of containing themselves. That they will not commit to any kind of violence whatsoever. Let's just hope people will contain themselves. Let the system work. There is an appeal coming, so just remember that. Secondly, we have to be careful about how we react to this because it seems like it's fair, and it probably is fair. There is a bit of this that people are saying is political. And why are they saying that? Because here's a man who's running for president against an opponent that he barely lost to last time, or well, at least that's what he says. He only lost 55, I think it was 51 to 48. That's actually a pretty good loss. But he lost 51 to 48. There's still 74 million people in the country that voted for Trump last election. Why? God asked me, and who knows? So it looks like a political witch hunt. But this is not the only trial. Remember, there's a RICO charge waiting for him in Georgia. He's also got the charge against him for all those files, secret files that he was trying to hide for lying. That's what it is. For lying about the secret files that he had at his house that he claimed he had the right to have at his house, and then the court said, no, you don't. Not necessarily. No, you don't have a right to those. So he got that count. Those charges he's also facing. All of those are felonies. Those cases may not even happen this year. He's still running for president. There's a big chance he can still be president and never serve a day of life in jail. He'll try to get. He gets 4 more years, and he may even try for 8 years when he can't have another term. He may try for another term after that, trying to get 12 years. You know, it's against the constitutional. He can't do that, but he's going to try. And people forget there is an agenda behind Trump that has a bigger that's a bigger tale. And I tell this, we can come after Trump and we say, "Oh, we're saving democracy," but that agenda is still there. Those people are still there. I was listening to a story today about the Mothers for Liberty that are taking over school boards all over America. You wonder why books are getting banned in libraries. This group still exists. All the state legislators and the red legislators that are creating laws against protesting and against books and against proper education. They still exist even with all of this going on. But Trump has been convicted, right? Trump has been convicted. And let's be careful of this. Martyrs. I compare him to one particular martyr in particular. That one is Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar walked into the Parliament of Rome, into the Roman Republic Senate. Came before them. They conspired and killed him right there on the Senate floor. They were doing it to save the Republic. In the end, the Republic was not saved. It was thrown into civil war. Then came the Roman imperial years. There was no longer a Roman Republic ever again. Rome began to fall that day. America has to be careful with making martyrs out of this man. Even though, to me, he's not a martyr in any kind of way whatsoever, justice is served, he could be seen as a martyr because this is an election year. Now, if this was the year after the election, he done lost and he gets convicted of this crime, nobody really cares. But this is an election year. This can spark things that you don't expect it to spark. That's why we have to be careful about certain things that's being done right now. Did we need to get this to trial? Yes. We have an election where the media is saying that Biden is behind, and this is going to look suspicious to some people. And everybody says, "Oh, don't do that. Don't say about the conspiracy. Don't go there. Don't go there." I'm being real with you. This man does not need to become president. And at the polls, I hope we still know what we need to do. We get to the polls to make sure this man does not become president of the United States. But I'm letting you know how some people will see this conviction and how his people will sell this conviction. just like he just did outside the courthouse. That's exactly what they are going to do. Y'all, I'm all out of time, so peace. You have been listening to Thought You Were Woke No Speed Limit Podcast.